Season 3 spoilers are underway. All right, guys, before we get into it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. All right, here we go. So here we have Gundam Deathscythe Hell at level 8, cost 7. Now I'm just going to say this, and I think I said it before, from now on until the end of time, we're probably going to hate every single card that's level 8. It's just we're always going to compare it to Wing Gundam. It has to have such immediate impact to the board, and if it doesn't, then we'd never play that card. We are in the same deck that Wing Zero will be in at level 8. Maybe you also tech him in. Let's go ahead and see. So he says deploy, choose one of your Operation Meteor or G team units, and during the turn you may choose an active unit as an attack target. Yeah, so it can allow anyone to attack into anything. So just kind of like how the level 6 Gundam Deathscythe is pretty much just meant to like 1v1 someone really well, whereas Wing Gundam destroys like all the smaller guys in like a wide board. This one's gonna be able to like punch into literally anyone. This is just so high just to get that effect. Like maybe if it had first strike innately by itself and also this, and I think even still people would consider maybe not even using this, maybe treating this as like a one of like command removal card at near the end of the game if like Wing Zero can't tag any of the larger creatures. At least we finally have a Gundam Deathscythe Hell, right guys? I guess you guys were waiting for it. It'll be foil, so at least there's that. Maybe they're gonna be it's gonna be an alt art of this guy. This art looks pretty good too, I'm not gonna lie. All right, now these two makes me actually want to watch the anime that they're from. From all I know is they're like new type haters, and everyone's excited about this card because it does exactly what these guys do. And I like when they try to make effects tie into what the unit actually does. In the world of Gundam, they don't really have any special effects, really. You know, they're usually just giant units with guns and shields, and that's pretty much it. So if there's ever a personality or ever an ability, kind of like Epion, I think they should try to reflect that as much as possible, if possible, for the sake of obviously balance, of course. Now this card is not that strong in my opinion. Like it is level 6, but it only costs 1. So when you're at that point, it only costs 1 and it's on action. We'll have to see like how effective being able to remove a pilot during certain steps are. Maybe just getting rid of the pilot to lower their stats to be able to get it to kill it with another unit is probably good. Now I also wish it was a burst card, like give us a burst and at least be able to like a bounce a pilot or something. I don't know, like, or if they just did it on burst, that would have been kind of crazy. I don't know why these command card non-hybrid cards don't have burst. I know they're trying to, it's probably like the first of its kind, so they're trying to say, hey, red is gonna have this ability to be able to kill pilots. This is the first one. We might be able to see more of these as they evolve in the future, because you know Bandai, I feel like they always try to trickle these in. Art Awakened Potential. His Digivice is opening up. He's about to Digivolve here. So it says burst, add this card to your hand. Okay, that's pretty cool. I wish the other card at least said burst added to your hand. At least that. Jeez. So this one says choose one rested enemy unit that is level 4 or lower. Return it to his owner's hand. Okay, that's already good. That's pretty much any blocker if you think about it. Then if there are 2 or more cards with Awakened Potential in their name in your trash, you may choose one friendly unit. It gains a blocker during its turn. Ooh, man, this card is strong. This card has so many uses. I'm thinking about it in 2v2 as well. This card has so many uses. I'm so glad when they always like throwing that friendly keyword there, because it just expands it instead of saying like one of your units. I would say the only issue with this card is it is only action step. So you have to be able to attack first in order to do this, or have your opponent make an attack in order to open up the action step. But I will say there is an extra action step at the end of the turn. So if you enter your end of the turn, you can definitely bounce there, but getting the blocker part really wouldn't help you. But hey, just say 1 cost bounce on level 4. This is pretty strong still. I think I like this one. All right, we have the Gundam EXIA here. The artwork is pretty good looking. Like it's grounded, and it's like, of course, doing his thing, cutting through these guys here. So at the end of your turn, if there are 7 or more celestial being cards in your trash, choose one of your resources and set it to active. I can only imagine like you having 2 on the board, 2 of these on the board, and then both having Soletta. You're always open at least to having some kind of like command play. And it says when paired, place the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash. If you place a celestial being card with this effect, draw 1. All right, so that I was thinking about when they're finally going to be able to do like these milling effect cards that trigger when it's milled. Now we have to see how many effects actually exist, so you're not really going to further your play as it says, but it's more so like being able to have something to do on your opponent's turn at all time, whatever that something is. Let's go ahead and see what the pilot says. So here's the pilot. Yo, this artwork looks pretty freaking cool. When attacking, this unit gains +1 AP during its turn. If there are 7 or more celestial being cards in your trash, all of your celestial being units get +1 AP instead. Yo, but if you think about it, guys, this guy is a 3-1. That is like straight offense. Is that now the strongest stats on the 3-1? Is there any? I'm trying to think. Who else is a 3-1? This is like a sharp effect, pretty much. on a level 4, but he also gives it to everyone else. And it says this turn. So obviously if you have 2 of these boys floating, you know, we hitting really big. When attacking on the EXIA, it's gonna make it a pretty much a 7 attacker on turn 5. But I think this is probably gonna work the best with like maybe Vulture kind of cards here, the Gundam X stuff, because they also are looking for 70 more cards in the graveyard. And they don't care what kind of cards they are, really. Sometimes they refer to vultures, but they usually just affect vultures in the field. But and the celestial beings are going to be actually filling up your graveyard, it seems. So what's going to be their second color? I'm curious. Well, I guess this card answers that question. It's going to be green. Here we have the Gundam Kyrios. Now I would say he's probably the only one I like the least out of the bunch. Here we go. So he's during your turn, while you have a celestial being pilot in play, this unit gets +2 AP. Oh, so he becomes a 4/3. Holy crap. So if you were to play, I'm only going to assume that his pilot is able to be played on level 3 as well. This is a pretty strong card. It is the 3/2 stats, and it doesn't, you know, it kind of misses the mark at the beginning by not being a 3/3. However, it can be a 4/3 in the right deck. So that's the trade-off. I like cards like that when it has that trade-off. It's kind of like Michaelis, right? He's a 3/3, but he becomes like the best level 3 in the game if you have the commands in the yard. So there's that. All right, as a reminder, guys, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, after this video, check out the other videos I have. And here we have Harambe? What? Hambrabi? So it's a level 5. So, you know, instantly everyone is going to hate this card because it isn't an L-Strike Gundam. But here we go. So attack, if you have 2 or more other Titan units to play, choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I like this card. Oh, I like this card a lot, but you definitely need the 2 or other Titans. If you have it, this is pretty good. This is pretty much going to rest almost everyone, right? Man, it's kind of like you're setting up the attack for something else to go into, or at least moving a blocker out of your way. So this is pretty interesting. But do I like it? Man, at level 5, that's always like a very niche position. You usually want stronger cards. Like in a Titan deck, like I'm probably gonna have Psycho Gundam MA form in that slot. Maybe one of the biological CPU boys from the Earth Alliance in that slot here, if I'm playing, like if I'm focusing blue. But you know me, guys, I do the whole faction thing. So if there's a lot more Titan cards coming out, we might have to revisit the Titans faction as a whole to see if you can play it more of just a strict Titan deck, or once again, you still need to add something else to it to make it good. All right, and here is the pilot to that last Harambe. When attacking, all right, so double up, choose one of your Titan units whose level is equal to or lower than this unit. It gets +1 AP during this turn. So I know Titans like does this whole 1 AP plus thing, but I would say this, when you're fighting against like blocker heavy deck, getting that 1 XP makes it feel so good. Like Red Xeon gets a lot of buffing, and like being able to turn all their blockers into like one-on-one trades feels pretty good. He's pretty much attacking with his unit and setting up the other person to be able to kill whoever needs to kill. So he's like, hey, I'm resting this guy. I'm also giving you +1 attack power. Handle it. Now, it doesn't say choose one of your other Titan units. So as long as he's on a Titan unit, he can technically choose itself. He's technically a 2/2 pilot, if you think of it that way, as long as he's on a Titan unit. All right, man, I see you, big dogs. Just gliding through this ship, posing for the gram here. See, I knew he was gonna be level 3. Let's see if this card is as bad as I imagined it in my mind. So he's not a 1/0, he's a 1/1. So that's good so far. So it says during your turn, while you have a celestial being link unit in play. Oh, see, that's already hard to do. But anyways, this unit can't receive battle damage from enemy units with 3 or less AP. This card is excellent. What? First off, he's going to get the link. If you're playing the Celestial Being deck, you're going to put him on a Celestial Being, so you're going to have the link. So they really don't want you to put this in any other deck. I get that. But for this crazy effect, for this Wu Fei effect, that's kind of crazy. And it's 3 or less AP, so all these weaklings are going to get knocked down. And also, when linked to his Kyrios, he's going to be, what, like a 5/4? And he also doesn't get any damage from it? Yo, hold on. Yo, okay. We're gonna have to do another video here on the top level 3 pilots, and this boy might be near the top here. Yo, why they got my boy looking all stubby like this? Why is he looking all crazy here? I'm not liking how they represented my boy here, man. But anyways, let's go ahead and see if we can finally get into us a Sandrock deck. Enemy units, choose one of your rested Magnet Course units as your attack target if possible when attacking. Ooh, I like that. Alrighty, so there's a skeleton right now for Magnap quartz in Gundam Sandrock that you can actually use. It's not that strong, but it's pretty much a mid-range package because we have 3 Magnap quartz right now and we have 2 Sandrock. But being able to turn all of your Maganacs into essentially pseudo blockers, like force targets, is pretty cool. Looking at its stats here, level 6, 5 cost, 4 catastrophe stats, and that's pretty steep. And it's almost like hoping that you already got the Magnets already deployed, which you probably will because the level 5 Sandrock will deploy them for you, and they actually are kind of low cost here. So you're probably gonna have something on the field. So when you land this, you make some swings. Hopefully they live, and then you're also gonna disrupt your opponent's turn. I'm not mad at this card in its design. All right, guys, but that's it for now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait a week before going over these cards. So every single week when I release this video, we will go over maybe like 7 or 8 new cards every single week. Of course, sometime events, they just release a whole crap ton that we'll just go over it all at that one time. And also, so just let me know how you feel about any of these cards here. All right, before you go, guys, be sure to check out some of these videos on your screen here. Looks like YouTube recommended these hot ones for you. I know life can be hard out there, guys, but keep your head up, keep moving forward, and most importantly, let nothing stop you. Peace out, guys.